Welcome to the SPL Show, the third episode of the SPL Show, and it possibly could be the biggest one yet, as we have Geylang International in the house. We have the Eagles in terms of their head coach, Noor Ali, and of course, Singapore International, Darren Teh, with us. It's fantastic to have them on the show. Did you enjoy the weekend's action, No?
Oh, of course, man. There was plenty of action, plenty of upsets in the weekend. So, I mean, it was a good weekend for certain teams in the league. Yeah.
Obviously, you watched it, having your team playing on Wednesday against the Young Lions. Did you need that extra few days to prepare the team? Did it work out for you?
I mean, it was a good break for us, especially the results against Albirex. You know, you just need to bounce back and get back into training to get things sorted out. So, it was quite hard for the first few days, you know, especially me not sleeping for 1 week, you know, trying to bounce back, you know, but it was a good few days break and the boys responded well, and we are looking forward to Young Lions games on Wednesday.
What did you have to do when your team went down to 9 men? Like, how do you react as the head coach?
I mean, it's a bit hard to react with the 2 red cards we have, because in the first 5 minutes when I brought in Iqbal, actually he changes the game and we had 2 clear chances before Faris got sent off, you know. But then 5 minutes, 10 minutes later, Sharin got sent off. So, but I was proud with the 9 players on the ball, on the pitch, because they still keep their composure, keep the ball. You can't do anything much. You have to keep possession, not lose the ball, and try to keep the score down as much as you can. And you can only defend, you know. So the 9 boys that was on the pitch the last 30 minutes, 40 minutes, did excellent throughout the whole game.
Darren, your coach didn't have much sleep. How about you? How did you react and how did you get the team together after the defeat?
Yeah, I mean, of course, it's disappointing. You know, first game of the season to lose at that certain scoreline. But I think all of us, you know, we reacted positively, and training looks good. Everything looks good. The boys definitely, we are all hungry to, you know, bounce back from the next game. Like we say, we still have 23 games to go, so it's not right to judge us based on 1 game. Yeah.
Oh, fantastic stuff, and we'll have an exclusive chat on Geylang International a little later on in the show. Of course, this show made possible by 42 furnished this lovely set. So for any furniture, lifestyle or home decor needs, do visit 42. Their website is 42.sg, fortytwo.sg. Alright, 3 games over the weekend, 2 on Friday, 1 on Saturday, and this is the results as we look at the table. Of course, on Friday, 2 big matches. I called it Fantastic Friday. The Lion City Sailors' first ever match, and they drew 1-1 with Tanjong Pagar United. And in Brunei, the Hassanal Bolkiah Stadium, Tampines Rovers, informed team, met the champions and they were downed by 2-0. And on Saturday, just the 1 game at Bishan Stadium between Balestier Khalsa and Albirex Niigata, 2-2 the final score there. But that did not tell the entire story, as there was floodlight gate. Very, very strange indeed. So if you missed the action, well, we'll bring you the games. The first one is from the Jurong East Stadium. Tanjong Pagar United back in the SPL after 5 seasons. They took on the very much fancy Lion City Sailors, who gave debuts to Hassan Sani, Gabriel Quack and Shadan Sulaiman. But how did they fare in their maiden voyage? Well, Patrick Kinghorn called the game.
The most anticipated first game of the new season there has ever been in the 25 years of Singapore professional football. Another good delivery, pressure, and the opening goal of this one, it doesn't go to the Lion City Sailors. Jaguars 1, Seaman 0, and you have to say that goes down as poor defending, as good as the delivery from Tanaka was. Really, really good delivery from Tanaka, but the defending for the Lion City Sailors. Lion City Sailors are going to have to do something special here. Farid Samid is beaten to it by Gabriel Quack. Into the area Gabriel Quack goes. The defending's been perfect for Tanjong Pagar United so far, but Andy Pengeli on the edge of the 6-yard box has made them pay for their first defensive lapse. Farid Samid is screaming at the referee in the midst of that, but 90 seconds before the break, and the Sailors square it up. But he really couldn't miss, could he? Lovely work from Gabriel Quack. Really sharp work indeed. He got the better for it to Mead, and he pulled off brilliantly the 22-year-old Australian, and he was faced with the simplest of finishes, heading it past Kenji. And Andy Pangeli is up the mark in Singapore, as are the Lion City Sailors, and boy oh boy, does that set up the second half now. He's got work to do, and he did well. And they may even be in business here. The flag stays down. He was inside his own half when the ball was played. And Soraya Prakash just on as a sub. It's 3-on-2 in Tanjong Pagar United's favour. Comes to Farid Samid. Oh! Well, that would have been some counter-attacking goal, and it just goes to show how much the Lion City Sailors are committing to just pick it up here in Johor East, live on Singtel Star Hub, the One Play Sports Network. And now Tanjong Pagar United still capable of pulling off the shock of the season so far. Lewis Jr. looking strong, still Lewis Jr. gets it back, Lewis Jr. into the area, Lewis Jr. Oh, it's a golden chance. Hassan Sunny saved well, but the Brazilian should have scored. Delightful passage of play, the best of the game so far from Tanjong Pagar United. All the credit in the world to the substitute, Hadi Putradilia as well, who was involved in that build-up play. Lewis Jr., so much strength on the ball. It was a lovely return pass. I'll do that for you in a moment. Oh, look at this for a mazy run. Lovely work from Ikram to the edge of the area. Oh my word, it's off the crossbar. Danger still not gone, Ikram, and now they get it away. Kenji stood static after great build-up play by Ikram Rifki. Oh, off the crossbar. That was an absolute peach of a snapshot from Gabriel Quack. Hafiz Noor with the delivery. Oh, it's a free header. Sharon got the crossbar, and Andy Pangeli somehow doesn't finish. Oh my word! Tanjong Pagar United stood still. Have they not scored here? Sharon Ishak, great header down, flicked onto the crossbar by Kenji, and Andy Pangeli, you'd have put the mortgage on in converting that. And Tanjong Pagar United survive. That's twice the crossbar's been struck by the Sailors in the second stanza.
So a little bit of a shock at Jurong East Stadium. The much fancied Lion City Sailors held to a draw by Tanjong Pagar United. Darren, was that a result that surprised you?
Yeah, of course. I think now Lion City Sailors, they are the talk of the town. You know, you look at the stadium. You know, people are packing the stadium to watch how they actually are playing and stuff like that. Social media are talking about them, that kind of thing. Pressure is definitely on the players, but I think we have to give credit to Tanjong Pagar. I mean, you know, every player's put up like a very gutsy performance. Every players, they know what was the plan. You know, they know what they have to do, what they are after, and you know, credit has to go to them. Of course, it's a shock result, but I think with the players that Lion City Sailors they have, I'm pretty sure they will bounce back as well. Yeah.
Gutsy is the right word there, no, because their coaching staff and some of your good friends in Hairi Suwab, Noor Alam Shah, Hasrin Jailani, they showed a gutsy performance. Did they embody the coaching staff on the bench?
I think definitely you need they are experienced players, and Hasrin also has been a head coach. You know, I used to work with him. Good coach, fantastic guy. You know, Hairi and Alam Shah has plenty of experience. You know, I think these are players that the players look up to every training session. You know, looking forward. So I think Tanjong Pagar put a very disciplined performance out there. You know, they know if they come out and play against the Lion City Sailors, you know, the results will be in defense. They're very good with their counter attacks, and they could have scored the winner in the last few minutes. You know, but it's only about how they're going to sustain this when they have injuries and suspension. I think that's the key throughout the whole season. That's how every team will be quite even in the first 5-6 games. You know, but after that, that's where everything. Need the depth and strength in the squad to have it.
Exactly, it's a very much of a high tempo game that they play, very physical, very aggressive. How difficult is it as a head coach to sustain it throughout the entire season?
I mean, to go out there and play every game that way is not going to be easy. You know, I mean, you definitely want to have a style of play you want to play. You know, and to come out there and try to get 3 points every game. You know, you don't want to become a team that is going to be very predictable and everybody knows what's going to happen in the game. You know, so I think the other thing that I think Tanjong Pagar will have issues is depth. You know, but the good thing about them is they are giving a lot of youngsters playing in the team. You know, people like Shadat. You know, I think the Nazrul guy. I think the first half that guy. You know, and you can see people like even Ignatius, you know, he was very quiet, but I was very surprised with his performance last game, you know. And I think the Brazilian guy, the number 10, is a fantastic player, you know. So I think for Tanjong Pagar, it's going to be a long run.
Okay.
It's going to be a very long season for them because of the depth and when the injuries come. But I think they have a very good experienced coaches down there and they know how to handle, So I think, to be fair to them, I think against Lion City Sailors they did very well. Yeah.
Darren, just touching on your point of Lion City Sailors being the talk of the town, what has been the mood and the conversation in the dressing room once you heard about Lion City Sailors and the players that they were bringing in?
I think it's the first time that privatization has happened in Singapore. So I think, of course, talking about the budget, that kind of thing. But yeah, we were all excited to see. I think everybody is excited to see how this plan will work out, how this will actually benefit Singapore football as a whole. And yeah, I mean, we all as players, we now money is a big thing in football as well, everywhere in the world. So I think all of us are eager to see what happens and how good will it benefit everyone as a whole. Yeah.
Well, the other big game on Friday was in Brunei at the Hassanal Bolkiah National Stadium as the champions were in action for the first time this season, taking on an in-form Tampines Rovers. How did the Stags fare against the champions? Shazad Haq was in Brunei.
Hello and a very warm welcome to you from the Stadium Negara Sultan Hassan Al Bolkiah Stadium in Bandar Seri Begawan, the capital of Brunei, as DPMM take on Tampines Rovers. This is the first game of the new season for DPMM. It's a delightful ball across from Mehmedovic up to Kapitovic, the tight angle. And again, keeper gets down well, but it was always going to be hard, wasn't it, for the striker from that kind of angle. Looking at the large frame of Charlie Clough. Oh, and he's found the corner. Well, they just floated in, and Shazwan Buhari was rooted to the spot and could only watch in despair as a ball flew in, and DPMM take the lead here through Charlie Clough. The ball was a great one, wasn't it? Trickery and the flamboyance of Kyoga Nakamura. Good defending. Shannon Stephen still alive here, and that's excellent goalkeeping from Shazwan. He's asking why that wasn't offside. The flag has stayed down. They all went to sleep at the back there, but Shannon Stephen was excellent in denying Voronkov, and then Shazwan followed up from Abdul Aziz's shot. He's shaking his head. He knows he probably should have made that number 2. Konsei Sao, the new goalkeeper for DPMM. Better ball in, much better from Joel Chu. Here's Amirul, who's done well here. That is at the far post towards Jordan Webb. Shannon Stephen, surely now, that's a great save. Konsei Sao denies a very forlorn looking Kapitovic, who surely thought there he had the equaliser. And that is a very good save from the Brazilian. Everyone just stopped there. They thought the ball had gone out of play with Irwan Shah. It hasn't. Taufik, no one is on the end of it. Can they score here? Well, again, it just seemed a bit of indecision. Just a bit of hesitation from both the goalkeeper and Kapitovic as to who was going to get to that ball first. We're going to see the introduction shortly of Razimir Ramli. Oh, he's done well here, Voronkov. Oh, this could be one of the all-time great goals of the SPL. What a strike there from Andrei Voronkov. Individual brilliance from the Belarusian. And that is the final nail in the coffin tonight. And they just haven't really had their shooting boots on today, have they? Oh, that is looking nasty. Was that a knee to the face? I'm not sure that was intent. It's a straight red for Taufik. It's all going very, very wrong for Tampines Rovers. I think Abdulaziz Tamit has perhaps played that up a little bit. Lechman felt he had no choice.
So, everyone has been talking about Tampines Rovers, Lion City Sailors, but because Brunei DPMM, I am Brunei, was it a statement of intent by them to start off their title defense with a convincing victory over Tampines?
I mean, it's never easy going there to get the 3 points, you know. But I mean, Brunei has a way of football they want to play that is very effective for them, and they won the league last year with that football, you know. And I think they have players like Charlie Clough and even they keep Loranco, you know, the top scorer of last season, you know. And I think it's still going to be hard. And if you look at the team, it's still a title contender. You know, they still look strong. They are very positive of the football they want to play, and they are getting results. So I still think that they are still one of the title contenders for this season.
And do you feel like the amount of games have been piling up for Tampines and their performance wasn't as good against the champions?
I think Tampines has their way of football they want to play. You know, they keep the ball well. They can have 70-80% of possession in every single game. You know, but I think with the league and the cup and the AFC and even the AFF, you know, that they're going to be the whole year with 4 big tournaments this year. And I think with the squad that they have, I think, you know, it's going to take a big toll on them throughout the season, you know, because now you have another one player standing off and Yassi is still out, you know. So I think, but Tampines will never change the way they want to play, you know, and they will still be the same Tampines Rovers that you know. But I still believe that they still have a squad, you know, they have a good goalkeeper, experienced players out there. Yep. And I think the striker is a good one. They have signed in and he has scored every single game, you know, and Kyoga is another addition. So I still think that they are still one of the contenders in the top 3. Yeah.
Darren, Noor Ali says it's always tough when you visit Brunei. Why is it so difficult? Is it like a proper away day?
I think it's just the way they play. You know, they play with very high intensity. Probably because like they have an English coach with them. Yeah, and you know, when you go to Brunei, they will just come at you all the time, you know, with the football that they want to play. Yeah, I think that's why it makes it so hard. Yeah.
Do you enjoy the rivalry with Tampines Rovers? I know Geylang and Tampines have a rivalry that goes back many years, the Eastern Derby. Is it special playing in the Eastern Derby compared to perhaps a normal match against the Young Lions?
Yeah, I think it's a derby game. Then every time before a derby, you know, you see like social media, that kind of thing. You know, people are talking about derby games. You know, the fans want us to win the derby games. You know, it's about pride. And you see like fans from outside, especially Ultra Eagles. Before every derby, you know, the banter will start here and there. And yeah, it's extra pressure, but also, you know, extra motivation for us as players to, you know, deliver the results for the fans.
I'll ask you both just a little bit on the fan culture. You mentioned the Ultras Eagles. Are we closer in terms of fans, media and players all together because of social media compared to maybe a few years ago? For both of you, might know. Let's start with you.
I think definitely. I mean, the Ultra Eagles has been fantastic. You know, they connect the players to social media through their you know, Facebook, Instagram. You know, and they are always encouraging the players. You know, posting photos of the player, communicate with the players. So I think it's a different level now. You know, in terms of the communication between the fans and the players, even the management. You know, so it's good to see that this thing is happening, and I think we have one of the best fans in Singapore right now. You know, they are very supportive. Even we lost 4-0 in our first game, they were still there. You know, still telling us 23 more games to go. Keep on going, guys. Encouraging us, encouraging the boys, sending good messages on social media. So that's nice to see. You know, so that's why I always tell the players. You know, sometimes when you go out there, think about these people that come and spend the extra hours. You know, they could have spent for, you know, with their family going out, you know, but they came down to watch the game, and you can lose, but I mean, it's part and parcel of the game, but at least lose at the right way. So
do you feel like the players and the fan club are like just engaging with each other more now than ever, Darren?
Yeah, I think so. You know, football wouldn't be the same without fans now. You know, and you know, we appreciate what the fans are doing for us. You know, that kind of thing. And namely Ultra Eagles, I think they're you know, every game they are just there for us, no matter what. You know, like what Coach Noor said. You know, the time that they spend on us, you know, they can be outside doing, you know, spending time with their family, things like that. You know, cheering for us. You know, from the first minute to the last, the final whistle. So yeah, credit has to go to them.
Moving on to the final game from the weekend, that was on Saturday. as Balestier Khalsa took on Albirex Niigata. 2-2 the final score, but that did not tell the whole story. Here's Patrick once again.
As we welcome the team that finished bottom of the pile last season but look much brighter this. Balestier Khalsa against Albirex Niigata. Not the ideal position right through the middle, but they drifted in and they look for the head that they find, and it's a great chance for the opening goal. The flag stays down and Balestier Khalsa has scored their first goal of the season. Well, this is what Balestier Khalsa have to do. Really well won in the air. I think it might have been Fadley rather than Khalili that got the initial header in, but for once it was Albirex Niigata that weren't sure, and the ball was raging towards the goal of Kayakawa and converts for Balestier Khalsa's lead. Hiroshima, the Albirex Niigata fans trying to get behind the Japanese here. Another good delivery, and the equaliser comes 6 minutes in to the second half, and it's a Singaporean that scored it, as it no. The goal scored by the substitute. Well, what do I know? Questioning Shigatomi's decision to take off Daniel Go. But Ryoya Taniguchi has proved that decision spot on. And Balestier's lead has lasted less than 7 minutes into the second half. The ball heads that well. Nice takedown from Hasban over the top, looking for Hoshino. Hoshino could be in here. Hoshino! Oh my word! Well, Zuzu had nothing to do with it. But seconds after his introduction, Shuhei Hoshino, after great work from Hasban, regains the lead for Balestier. And the Japanese have to come from behind again. What a score! The Golden Boot winner from 2018, and Zuzu was involved. He headed it on to Haswan. Haswan through to Hoshino, and how many times do we see him score goals like this for Albirex Niigata? Krajcek manages to get it out, and unfortunately now the floodlights have failed on us. Oh my word, what drama here. With 15 minutes to go. I'm just looking up, I think there's a suggestion a couple of the floodlight bulbs have come back on, but we are now faced with a local time of 7:10 in the evening, and it's only going to get darker, so unless they can restore these floodlights, well, that's going to be very interesting. It would be heartbreaking for Balestier Khalsa if this game is to be abandoned, that they come back tomorrow and play 12 minutes. Goodness only knows what the provisos are put in place to deal with this, but it's such a shame because the game was building up to a fascinating climax with Balestier Khalsa regaining the lead with half an hour to go through Shuhei Hoshino. Game on, let's get ready to rumble for the second time tonight. Let's hope the floodlights hold out. We've only scored once and have been thwarted on a number of occasions by a masterful Zydful performance, a captain's performance from between the sticks. Remember, there was one, and they're in again here. Zuzu and Hoshino wait in the middle. Can they get it back to Zuzu? Oh, blocked! With a keeper beaten, that would have been game, set, match. A desperate clearance for Albirex Niigata. To keep the game alive, as Albirex Niigata now go into the area, can they level it up? Oh, they've equalised! Seconds after, Zuzu could have worked it up. Ryo Nishiguchi has broken Balestier's heart with 60 seconds to play, and now Shigatomi wants it to go for the winner. Seconds after Zuzu should have scored, Albirex Niigata and Ryo Nishiguchi have, and that's just a question of a team coming forward against tired limbs. And not for the first time and not for the last, Tomoyuki Doi and Ryo Nishiguchi involved in an Albirex Niigata goal this season. They linked up for the opener against Geylang in the first game of the campaign.
So truly a very strange situation at Bishan Stadium. 2-2 the final score, but it will all be about floodlight gate, Magno, and yeah, I mean, how difficult is that for a coach? 74 minutes and 30 seconds, you have 15 and a half minutes to play, and then it all stops. So what would you do as a coach in that situation?
I think for Balestier, you just kill off their momentum, because they were doing great at that point of time, and it's very hard as a coach when you're leading 2-1, and just telling the players just to sit back and start defending again, and it's better for Albirex because then they have certain things to plan that 25 minutes, and the other thing is it's also harder for players to come on after 25 minutes again and start, the body system has to keep going again, and I think that 25 minutes favor Albirex at the end of the day, and they got the second goal, the equalizer for a point.
But how cruel is football? Zuzul had the opportunity to kill off the game. Albirex go up the other end and then equalize. Would you say they were perhaps a little bit more better in terms of their physicality and mentality compared to Balestier and deserve that equalizer?
I don't think this Albirex team is a better one than last year. I think the last year one is better. I think this year team is quite predictable with how they want to play. But very surprising that Balestier actually put up two very good performances. They are very unlucky against Tampines and also unlucky against Albirex. So I think Zuzu could have killed off the game, but that's football. That's make football interesting. But I think Balestier is the team to watch. They have certain qualities in the team that can damage a lot of teams.
Darren, Noor Ali feels that last year's Albirex was better. You were up close and personal with them, of course, in the first match of the season. What are your thoughts?
For me, I think Albirex as a whole this season, maybe in terms of team, they may be better in terms of the team play, but individual quality, I'm pretty sure the past Albirex is definitely better than what they have this year. Yeah.
And in terms of the local context, great to see Iman, Gareth, Daniel go involved in the setup at Albirex Niigata. Good opportunity for a player to learn a different kind of football.
Yeah, I think it's a very good move for them. Especially I'm friends with Gareth and Daniel as well. I speak to them how it goes, that kind of thing. Yeah, so far the feedback is positive. They are working hard, and yeah. But for me, I'm very surprised and impressed with Iman. Yeah. I think player of his age, he's shown a certain level of maturity. Yeah. And I think he has a long road ahead of him, and I hope he learns a lot more from the Japanese players and from the whole Albirex setup.
Now, 2 games in a row he started, Iman Hakim for Albirex Niigata. So 3 matches played so far in week 2 of the SPL. So how does that look on the latest standings in the SPL? On top of the table is Albirex Niigata with 4 points, 1 win and a draw. Hougang there, Brunei DPMM, of course, with that victory, make up the top 3. At the bottom, Young Lions and Geylang International go head-to-head on Wednesday as they look to pick up the first points of the season. And we'll start with that as we look at the fixtures. At our Tampines hub, Geylang International taking on the Young Lions. And at the weekend, another full round of games to look forward to. The Young Lions will need to recover quick as they take on Balestier Khalsa at Jurong West, while DPMM take on Albirex at the Hassan Al Bolkiah Stadium. What a match that promises to be. Well, Sunday sees the Eagles travel to Hougang Stadium, and we'll see the likes of Shawal, Anders and Iqbal coming up against their former employers, while the Stags take on the Jaguars at OTH to round off the action for week 3. Well, that brings an end to the first segment of the SPL show. After the break, we will have an exclusive chat on Geylang International. We'll see you soon. Welcome back to the SPL show, and we still have Geylang International in the studio with us. Head coach Noor Ali and of course defender Darren Teh still with us, and we'll be talking all about Geylang International in this segment. And for you, Noor Ali, let's go back all the way back to pre-season. When did it start and how were preparations?
We started in I think mid-December. Still only with the old boys, last year players, and then the new players joined us in January. And then we had a few pre-season games. The first 2 we played against Siglap and Safsa. Then we played YL, we played Young Lions, and after that we went on for a short pre-season trip to play Selangor 2 and 1. and then we played Persija.
Now, some issues in terms of results during pre-season. As a coach, I know you're trying to experiment, get the best out of your side, but were you ever worried about, the lack of results?
I'm not worried during the pre-season, about the results. I think it's more important the team performance, because you want to see a certain consistency and the players throughout the season. We want to have a brand of football we want to play, and we want to stick to that, because I always believe that you have to be very positive about the football you want to play, because this is only good development for Singapore football, for the club, for the players. So it's about educating the players to play the right football. So I always believe in that. I think that's my philosophy of football. I want to achieve at the end of the day, and I think the boys had adapted well last year, and this year they are still going on with that, and like I say, of course it's a bit worrying, because of course results is important in the league, but I'm not worried with this team. They have very strong characters. Players are very, very positive. So that's one thing fantastic about the team I have. Yeah.
Darren, I hated pre-season as a player. But what was the highlight for you during the preparation period?
Yeah, I think highlight has to be playing against a few top teams, top professional teams, namely Persija, JDT, Selangor, Perak. I think in terms of the teams that we faced, I think we played against some of the better teams compared to other SPL teams. Yeah, and especially Persija game, it's a huge experience for everybody, even for young players, to be playing in front of 50,000 crowd. Yeah, the atmosphere, the intensity was just like amazing.
What was it like playing in such a big crowd, away from home, and the Persija Jakarta fans obviously known throughout Southeast Asia for their support? What was it like as a player preparing for a game like that?
I think every one of us, we when we first heard of playing against Persija, we were like, oh really? We were looking forward to it. It comes with a pressure and all, but I think we as professional footballers, we have to learn to accept this pressure and things like that. So we went there. I think we did well throughout the game. We even though we lost, I think at the end of the game, we held our heads up high. The fans there were giving us back the support. When we walked through the stadium,
Yeah.
giving them like showing them our appreciation. Yeah. It's a good atmosphere, good experience for all of us. It's something you'll never experience in Singapore, maybe for the next few years. Yeah.
No, we never.
I saw you guys throwing jerseys as well into the crowd as well. How does that help in terms of the team bonding during pre-season, playing such an atmosphere? You guys kind of group together a little more during a period like that.
Yeah, of course. It's all jokes for us, that kind of thing. The fans there were crazy. Some of the fans even they want to swap slippers with you for your boots, that kind of thing. So it's it brings us together. It's something that we never experienced. In Singapore. They were crazy wanting our jersey. And crazy wanting us to bring back their skulls back as well. Yeah. So it was a good experience. From the first day we were there to the end. Yeah.
So pre-season sounds like it was great fun, and then start of the season against Albirex Niigata, Jurong East Stadium. What happened? 4-0.
I think second half totally changed the game with the 2 red card But I think it's a learning process. People like Faris, Sharin, they are only 24 or 25 years old, and they will learn from here. I think I also played before, and I was a very dirty player also, and I get sent off. I still remember, I get sent off when I played against Shanghai Shenhua in China, and the team was 0-0, and then the team left and lost 3-0 in the second half, So that's the kind of feeling I feel how Tanjong feel at that point of time, But for me, like I said earlier on, I have a bunch of fantastic characters in the team. They bounce back, they fight for each other, they don't blame each other. Of course, like I say, it's a bit disappointing. You can't do much with Albirex with 9 men on the pitch, But I think the boys has been fantastic throughout the preseason. Even after the 4-0 loss, we have sat down, talk about the game, move on, and been training well the last few days, and we are looking forward for our Young Lions game.
What's the disciplinary action like at Geylang International? I know when I was playing, if I got sent off or you did something against the rules of the club, fines would come in terms of buying pizza for the entire club or for a certain duration of time and just, like belanja your teammates. But what's it like now?
Now it's no more buying pizza lah. Buying pizza is too cheap lah. Buying pizza is only when you come late for training.
Okay.
I think the club has taken certain action against the two players lah. Because basically, I think what you should not have reacted whatever it is the way that Faris has reacted lah. But I think he will learn from there. And he knows that he's a national player. He has to be a role model and showing good example. So we have taken certain action. We have fined the two players, to make sure that this is put straight across the team. That everybody knows that this is a team effort. By doing this, then this is what happened when you play against quality team like Albirex. So we have fined both players lah. I cannot tell you the fine, but we have fined lah. Easily, maybe they can buy one Louis Vuitton bag lah.
It sounds like a discipline master right now, Noor Ali. Darren, you know him pre Japan and post Japan. How has he changed as a coach?
Oh, interesting question. No, I think it's it helps him as a coach.
Is he more demanding now?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I think in terms of all the small little things and everything, but it's positive for us. We as professional footballers, he's trying to bring what he learned in Japan. We all know that Japan is a top country in terms of football. So I think he's trying to bring certain things back to us, and we understand what he wants from last year to this year. And I think right now it's just about the new boys adapting to it and picking up quickly. And I think it's all positive for us. Yeah.
How have the new boys settled into the new club? Of course, you have a few local players like Iqbal and Khairul Nizam, but a few foreigners as well. How have you all bonded so far?
I think it's easy I think to bond together with us in Geylang. We have a certain bond that we always carry along from last season to the upcoming season. So I think it's easy even for the foreigners like Pana, Kocha. We do everything together. Sometimes we go for food together. No matter what, we try to bring the whole team together. They have breakfast and everything. And we have a lot of fun, in training. Have to give credit to the management as well, to the coaches. They try to bring everybody together. As for the local players, Nizam, Iqbal, I think they have been in this industry long enough. Yeah, and I think for them to just come to our team and just click, it's just easy for them. Yeah.
No, I just want to get your input on two signings. And first of all, Iqbal Hussein. Rumors that he was going on trials in Thailand. How was the process in snapping him up from Hougang?
I mean, this is the sad thing about Singapore football for me, because last year at Faris, also having this issue with no club, and this year I have Iqbal, another player that has his potential is, this guy is an excellent player. I've not seen him really until he came out, and start training with me, and I was very surprised with the quality that he has, So he basically has no club. After he went back from the Thailand trials, he has no club. He gave me a call and he wanted to play. And at that point of time, we don't have a budget to suit his contract, but he agreed to certain things, that he's willing to work hard and be more disciplined. Because I have to put this right to certain players in this team, because they must realize that football career is very short, and they have to be very disciplined and take care of themselves. Because not many players have the ability of Faris, Iqbal, or Nizam. Christopher, Amy, my front line is all local, and I believe in these boys. They have certain abilities that they can do and be part of the national team, especially Iqbal. So you just need to screw them a bit. I don't know what kind of screwdriver, but you just need to screw them a bit. Maybe Iqbal Spana.
And the other signing is the return of Barry Maguire. Now, no secret that he wanted to go elsewhere after last season. Didn't really work out for him. Was he the obvious choice once Gilson Varela was released?
I mean, because Barry has been with us 1 year. He knows the football I want to play, and he had that bit more experience in the team, and he's very vocal. My team is very quiet. They are very good off the field. When off the field, they are the noisiest, especially Omar. But when come onto the field, nobody talks except for Barry. Even Yuki. He has been here 7 years. The English is yes and no only. So people like Barry carries the team a lot. And of course against Albirex, if he was there, it would be a big difference from us from the start. But saying that I have enough local front line, so I don't think I need a striker. I mean, for Gilson, he was trying to settle down, and trying to get things going, but I think it's a bit hard for him, especially trying to adapt to the football we want to play, But I think for me, Barry has been a good addition. The minute he comes in, he just click with the boys. So I think that's my right choice, lah.
Darren, what was the reaction when you found out Barry is back?
I mean, we speak to Barry a lot. We hang out quite a lot outside of football as well. So
you went on holiday together.
Yeah, we went on holiday together. So yeah. So the moment I think when the boys knew that Barry was coming back, it was just like Barry set the standard for us. He set his own standards from last season. So it was just it's for the benefit of the team. We all know that he's going to be like a positive inclusion for us, addition for us, and we know what he can do and what he's capable of. So and to be honest, we know that he's one puzzle that we were lacking, prior to his arrival. Yeah.
So obviously now looking forward to the Young Lions and the rest of the season. Looking at Young Lions coming up first, 2 players suspended. Barry looks like he'll be back. Amy returns as well. Now is it up to the players to go according to the players to the coach's instructions and do it on the pitch on Wednesday?
Yeah, like what Coach Noor said, I think we have a bunch of players with very good character, strong characters. We want to do well for the team, for ourselves, for whatever reason that they have. Like I said earlier on, it's just one game, one off game. We all put aside the first game. Yeah, training has been positive. Everything has been positive. I think for us, we took more positives out of the Albirex game than anything. Yeah. So I think we are hungry to bounce back and to prove everybody wrong. Yeah.
And for you, what's your 2020 goal? I mean, last season was great for you. You captained the club, national team appearance as well. What's your 2020 target?
He wants to score another goal.
For me, it's been good. 2019 has been good. I just want to keep on doing what I love to do. Playing football. It's a passion for me. I just want to keep on playing and doing the things I love. And then, for me, my personal target is to step out of my comfort zone one day. I want to play overseas one day, but who knows, So I just want to continue doing what I do. Yeah.
No, I think we'll end with you. Obviously, results are important in the professional setting of the SPL. But how proud are you that the likes of Darren, and we have had 4 players recently called up to the national team squad, that they have been called up and you are producing players for the national team?
I think that's my key target every season when I go out. Of course, I want to win every single game. That's the thing. Not only me, the boys want to go out there and win every game. But is to see my players moving up to play in the national team. I had Harik, which I pick up from under the void deck at Tampines, and just call him there. And then like one day before the game, I have no left back. I got it out of nowhere, and 3 months later he's in the national team. So there is a lot of talents. At the end of the day, it's just giving them, the proper coaching, the proper encouragement, and at the end of the day, I think of course the money comes along lah, for me. So I'm very proud with this bunch of boys. The next one I want to see is Iqbal. I have Darren, I have even Zaino was called up last year. I have Darren, I have Firdaus, I have Christopher, I have Amy, I have Nizam, I have Faris. And I want to see Iqbal in the national team. He is a good one for the national team. He just need to back up only. Like I say, you need the biggest partner for him to make sure that he just make sure put the things right. So I'm happy and I want to see more of my players being in the national team, and definitely, you only can get better when you have more national players. The results will come in the league. And like how Darren say, I have a very positive team. The boys are fantastic. The coaching staff is fantastic, and even the management level, they have been supporting the team all the way. So we're just waiting for the next game. Yeah.
Fantastic for Harif Kanadi to be called up to the national team squad under Tatsuma Yoshida. Geylang International have had some great left backs over their spell, so great
Trying
stuff.
to talk about him also.
for Harif. So Geylang International up against Young Lions on Wednesday. That's the sole fixture during the midweek, and then a full round of fixtures on the weekend. Geylang International up against Hougang United. That is a fixture to look forward to as well. That's it for the SPL show. A shout out to 42 once again for furnishing the set for all your furniture, home decor and lifestyle needs. Remember, it's 42.sg. Thank you to Noor Ali. Thank you to Darren. Good luck for the Young Lions and for Hougang United. And we'll see you next week for another episode. Good night.